Okay, we're live and streaming. So this is Michael Finicaro. I'm very pleased to introduce Oleg Shilovitsky, who's one of my favorite guys on the web because we're always on podcasts together. And of course, Maor Farid of Leo AI, a very exciting startup. And we're going to talk today about AI and across the product lifecycle, in particular, how Oleg and Maor have used AI to produce really breakthrough amazing applications. So I'll let Maor, you can introduce yourself, and then Oleg.
Sure. First of all, Michael, thank you so much for having us today and for the opportunity. Super happy to see you finally. Yeah, it was quite of a process, quite of a journey. And I'm super happy that we have the opportunity finally. So, and of course,
too.
Oleg, if it's, we usually meet each other in person, but, virtually it's fine as well.
Just let's. Well, I'll come to Brookline and we'll all hang out. Whenever I can. But from Paris is a little hard. Or I'll take you guys to some places here in Paris when you come. Okay.
Sounds great. But it's a hell of a competition when it comes to compare Paris to Brookline. But we're up to it. So. Yeah. In my background, basically, I dreamt to become a mechanical engineer when I was in 10th grade, right? When I saw SolidWorks for the first time. And then I started, 2 years later, I joined some kind of elite academic program to train mechanical engineering. So I completed my bachelor's, master's, and PhD at the Technion, mechanical engineering. Then I started to work as a mechanical engineer in a secret unit that reports to the Prime Minister's office. And then I realized that I've done the worst mistake of my life, studying mechanical engineering, and it's related to the story behind Leo AI. We're going to talk about it in a bit. So I worked as a mechanical engineer, then pivoted into AI, and I was an AI researcher in the defense industry. We developed AI algorithms that identify terror targets for homeland security purposes. And then finished my service as a captain, and using Fulbright scholarship, I went to MIT to pursue my postdoctoral training. And also mechanical engineering and AI. And then, I partnered with my best friend and the most brilliant person that I know, Moti, to start Leo AI that basically tackles the problem that we experience in firsthand as mechanical engineers.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to learn more about that as we go along. Oleg, you want to talk about OpenBOM a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So first, pleasure to be here. Great to see you. We're getting some echo, Michael, and I don't know where it comes from.
I'm not getting in on my side yet.
So,
and I have echo cancellation on.
I hear it too, by the way. I guess it's...
Yeah, it's a kind of strange. But anyway, so I think it's not, it disappeared now. So again, Michael, pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Like Maor said, we usually meet each other in person, different places, but like we do it digitally and virtually now. So I've been around in PDM and PLM development for the last couple of
decades,
probably 20 plus years, right? So coming to work in different companies, worked for the System. So frequently visited Paris. So still remember. Yes, exactly. and then I worked for Autodesk, and in between a few startups, all of them were around development of PDM and PLM technologies. So my education background was in construction and computer-aided design. So and somehow I moved to mechanical and moved to manufacturing, and then I found that these two fields, construction and manufacturing, are getting close and intertwined today. So that's a very, very, very exciting moment, and I got very passionate about everything that related to data. So my previous company was about how to develop semantic search for engineering data, and then all PDM and PLM development. So at OpenBOM, It was a dream how to change the way people are managing data and organizing information. And as we started, then later we discovered all advantages of the AI and graph technologies. So would be happy to speak about this more. But thank you for inviting me, and great to be
my
here.
pleasure. So usually I start asking before I know Maor, you just released Leo AI, and Oleg, you just had a new release relatively recently. So when you were first starting out on that journey, adding more AI into the product, what was your feeling about AI beforehand? Did you think there was a bit of hype, but maybe it was powerful, maybe we'll try to use it? What was the feeling on initially before you actually started developing?
It's a very interesting question. And, let me be blunt a little bit. I started doing AI, let's say like this, before it was cool, before the hype, right? So I really can't really stand people throwing AI, those two letters, on everything. And I don't think that people should think about, we need to do AI more. No one really cares. AI is just, a bunch of statistical algorithms, right? And it should not be a goal by itself. So I really am tired, right, about people talking about AI as a hype. And we are focusing on providing real immediate ROI, right, by using AI, but doing things that were not possible before AI. And AI is now natural to solve those kind of problems. So if we could solve those problems, those business critical, domain specific, and mechanical engineering problems without AI, we'll do it. We do not care about AI per se. So this is, my 2 cents. And I'm saying this as an AI researcher, right? And mechanical engineer.
Right.
So yeah, sorry for being a little bit blunt, but
no, it's okay. But when you were doing the research, did you immediately see the potential, or was it sort of or you were a little maybe skeptical at the beginning? How did that go? I mean, since you were an AI researcher and a mechanical engineer, did you see the two coming together as quickly as they did?
So I saw the problems even before I knew what AI is, right? So I'll share with you maybe a quick story that will emphasize how the problems are super,
related.
So makes a lot of sense. So we can talk about time to market and different ROI matrices, but I think this story emphasizes it better than everything. So I started to work as a mechanical engineer in a place that it's a dream of every mechanical engineer, right? It's a team it's an organization that develops a very specific strategic weapon, right? I cannot, of course, elaborate about this. And their data and knowledge was a treasure in a global scale, right? This is literally a new kind of science, a specific kind of science and engineering. And their PLM was the treasure chest. And, one time we had an operation that should take place in 6 months from this date. And I had to design a new kind of dynamic suspension system, but it was not a new kind. It was literally a modification of a system that exists in 200 or something previous designs. Long story short, I had to spend 2 months scrolling through the PLM, PDM, trying to find what's the different assembly that I should leverage and use, and ask dozens of people. No one really remembered, so I needed to reinvent the wheel. So, and this is the main problem. 70% of the organizations are suffering from the fact that their engineers need to reinvent the wheel, redesign stuff that are already in their PLM, PDM. Right. Not only time, but this is a great way to make a lot of design mistakes, not using vetted previous designs, and just to tire the system, their peers, etc. So this is a classical use case for AI, right? AI is not great in designing the next generation of time machines, right? It's not designing a new kind of science or engineering, but it's awesome on taking your data and just doing interpolations, not extrapolations, if it makes sense, right?
Right.
So this is how we do, and by introducing the first AI model that can understand CAD, right? The first thing, this is a prerequisite of what I'm mentioning. So we connected this into the organization's PLM system, PDM, and then we can answer questions, find the best fit parts, and optimize their designs.
So that's cool. That's on the CAD side. So Oleg, you're looking more at the PLM side, right? So how did you see the potential of AI when you were designing OpenBOM?
You see, this is a very interesting thing because I will tell a story, and it's amazingly. I mean, I never heard this Maor story that he just told, but it's amazingly connected to each other. So I will take you a little bit back, and I will say that long time ago someone told me, you see, the SQL database were invented in order to organize data in a better way. I said, how? And they said, but there is a language called SQL, and once you get everything in SQL, like the problem is solved. Okay, got it. You see? I mean, that's for real. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then basically I look into all the story and I said, well, the problem is the same. People want to organize data. The problem remains the same. And the technology are going to change. And I said, SQL database are not good to organize data, and went to semantic web. So we went to semantic web and developed search algorithms, but essentially it was a graph behind this. So we developed search algorithm, then we move forward. And I said, like, everything in organization is connected. And the bill of materials is probably one of the most common denominator when people speak about organization of information. You got the engineering, manufacturing, service, like it's all connected. And how to connect it all together, we need to get a better data management. And that was already after someone said that cloud will solve the problem, after SQL, and after someone who said social will solve the problem. I mean, remember, it's all technological things that were coming after another. And we said, we can create a technology online platform that on one side will be global because everyone is connected. All PLM systems are isolated. Like you get 20 PLM systems sometimes in one large company, or you get every database. And we said we need to get global systems. Like if Google is global, why we cannot be global? And on the other side, we said need to have a better technology to manage connections, which was a graph database. And by that time, when we created OpenBOM, that became a differentiator. So we created OpenBOM platform based on absolutely new data management technologies, including graph database that can scale with amazing capabilities of connection of data. And once we build it, we build what we call a global product knowledge graph, which basically connects all data. And then, like Maor said, AI is statistical algorithm. We just put it on top of this naturally. So because your data is the most important element there. And this is how I think it's all pieces started to connect. And we've been talking in OpenBOM about intelligence and the graph intelligence and ability to find the right components and ability to analyze data. No, we're just getting another layer of technology that can help us to do it. So that's how all these pieces are interconnected. So I'm like, I very much share Maor's opinion that I don't like when someone is trying to come and say, now we have AI.
All the problems are solved.
I mean, yeah. Just put the AI logo on this. Like, especially, I don't like when someone is starting to say now we have something AI native. That's a very interesting piece. I mean, especially when it's something exists already for 10, 15 years. Now we have it AI native. We had the same with the True Cloud like 15 years ago. So.
Because we had VMware and mainframes, which were already clouds.
Yes.
So another topic I wanted to address that I'm sure you're both intimately familiar with is, of course, we've been talking actually, I did this last year, 2024. I was already using AI without being a programmer to build stuff, right? And now there's a word for it called vibe coding. And it still sounds a bit hype, and yet I think there's nobody in their right mind would be developing any software without AI today. So my question to you guys is like, how is AI integrated into the way you're developing Leo AI and OpenBOM? Is it, do you do the scaffolding? Do you do the brainstorming? Is it the test cases? I mean, where is AI the most useful, and where is it super annoying? Like, how AI can often lead you down this path, and suddenly it gets stuck, and you can't really. It's got to back out again and start over because it can't understand what you want. That's happened to me anyway. So anyway, I'll throw that to Maor first. How is Leo AI actually using AI in the development process?
So as I mentioned before, the power of AI in general, before we talk about Leo, is to get access to data sources. ChatGPT is doing this on the entire internet, right? But get access to engineering sources and source this information very quickly based on not only, keywords, but on the semantic level, and provide real-time answers for the user. So what's the parallel for mechanical engineering is imagine that you have an AI that can understand all the data types, the modalities of data that you have, which means CAD and text, right? Basically.
Yep.
And it's connected into your PLM data and Windows directories and everything, all your data sources dynamically and ever syncing, right? And then when you ask a question during the design, for example, what's the best part that I should use here? And when you say here, Leo can understand because it's connected to your CAD tool and your PLM. It knows what you mean by here, this hole, this surface, etc. And in this way, it can find the most standardized parts that you're looking for and or documents. If it's, for example, what's the best coding that I should use here? It can find guidelines from your organization and information from the Bibles of engineering, and it can answer questions backed by sources that it finds. And if you're looking for parts, it can find part either from 120 million vendor parts that we have, or from your PLM. And it can tell you what are the most common and standard parts that fit this requirements. So this is what we're doing. And maybe one word about vibe coding for whom that doesn't really know what it means. You don't really miss anything, but it's a way to turn a prompt, a request, into a software product. I'm from the camp that says that it's not going to be available in mechanical engineering in the foreseen future because of a fundamental difference between code and mechanical, right? The mechanical domain. First of all, the tolerance for error, right? It's relatively low. If you're designing software that should be, a nice mock-up for, a front-end design for a restaurant management, and you have a mistake, so what? So what, okay? If you're doing this for a mechanical thing that should be in the hand of a customer, and it could, or a weapon that could explode not in the right time, or a wing of an aircraft, right? It's a major problem. The other thing is the number of decisions to be made, right? If I'm vibe engineering, a coffee machine. So just imagine how many decisions the engineer that designed, like manually, a coffee machine, how many designs did he make or she make? A lot of them. And me, as the owner of the product, as the manager of the product, I need to go through all these decisions and vet them. If I get the same output from an AI that designed a coffee machine for me, I would need to go through hundreds of decisions that I should check. And, for us engineers, when I have more than 3 questions, I'm saying, okay, forget about it. I'm going to redesign it myself. So this is another thing. At Leo, we do not believe in the vision of vibe coding. I'm sorry if I'm disappointing here some folks, some listeners, but we do not believe in a Jarvis kind of a vision that, design a coffee machine for me and it's going to generate it for you. We believe in arming mechanical engineers with AI that could make them make faster decisions, and maybe, in the next months, to generate and design small assemblies in a level that engineers could vet and validate, not a full-blown products.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Oleg?
Well, that's I think it's an interesting question because AI comes to us through the different places. And I think when ChatGPT came in 2022, I remember I was sitting with the team and I said, everyone now put a piece of paper on your screen, and on this piece of paper we wrote, before you do something, ask ChatGPT. So, and that was very useful because it's about making decisions. So how to make decision at many moment of time you just need to have something that you can ask and you can get, like Maor said, get the right piece of information. So it came down for our development team that they can different tasks that they can do using different AI tools and make them more efficient. We never thought, we can write a prompt that say develop OpenBOM and then go drink coffee and then come back and we get OpenBOM redeveloped in 6 months, like someone suggested. So that's not going to happen. But then it's proliferate from our internal usage also towards how our customers can use OpenBOM. And our customers might decide, might get some information access more efficient. This is where the conversational intelligence comes, because now we can get answers to particular questions faster. For example, we can say bring us where used and export them to Excel, and we don't need to make 25 clicks or 5 clicks or whatever it takes. So that's just much easier way to do it. Now, moving forward, we suggest that we can absorb the knowledge that we have inside of OpenBOM and also combine it with the knowledge from other systems as well, like, for example, Leo AI. And we can help people to make specific steps and decisions. Like if they want to create a bill of materials from scratch, we can generate bill of materials for something. I mean, it will not be final. It will not include all decisions, but it will give to someone a starting point. I had an advisor many years ago. He said the hardest part in the development of something is to come with a bad draft. So if you can create a bad draft, then you can improve it. So now you can think about AI is doing bad draft. Now, bill of materials, essentially, it's a recipe. Like you want to come with the recipe of your dinner as a bad draft, and you can add different pieces. So you can do the same if you think about bill of materials, because today it's also combined. It's mechanical, where, for example, Maor is speaking about mechanical design, but it's also electronic design, also software, all this other things. So to combine this all information and give some perspective on this and decision, that's how we see it's going to happen. So it's not like we do everything, but we can say, okay, create a draft bill of materials for your coffee machine. You can do a decent part, combine these things, and then you can absorb some mechanical design, you can absorb some electronic pieces, you can absorb some software, and you get the final release. And then before final release, like part of the common features of OpenBOM will be validate this BOM. So feature will validate BOM, will find you 25 errors, and say that those errors needs to be fixed before you will release this bill of materials, because mistakes in the BOM, when you find them early, they cost a little, but when you go to production, they cost a lot. So the soonest you can run those queries, so you can think about another way to use OpenBOM. And then we can combine information that comes through people and the different systems, and we absorb it, combine it to the knowledge graph, and this is how we get their better answers. So it's all combined together. It's not. I'm very much also in the not saying that we will get some magic that will say design everything or create everything, but it will be in the small pieces that will give you better decision.
So in the current release of your respective softwares, in the case of the AI, it's probably very obvious that you're using an AI because you're in a chat. You guys are basically a chat interface right on top of the CAD tool. But what other touch points are there between the AI and your application and the AI and the user? Are there also things that you're using AI for in the background that the user doesn't necessarily see? Or is it all this stuff that you're just seeing on the screen, the chat between you and Leo, or you and OpenBOM?
Oh, got it. So there is a lot behind the scenes. So
that's what I thought.
Just think about it. Yeah, when the user asks a question, for example, what's the best material that I should use for this application, and it gets the sources from the Bibles or from his organization, and the same for part reuse and part search, we do have a lot of analysis behind the scenes, a lot, and I will explain. Like the model that we developed, the AI model that we developed, like ChatGPT 4, it's model that called LLM, large language model, right? And Claude and Gemini. So we developed what we called the world first LMM, large mechanical model. So what it
Nice.
actually do? So it's the first to not take only words as tokens, what's called tokens, right? Tokens is it's words, for example, in the case of LLM, and those were trained, Claude and ChatGPT, to combine them into a sentence that makes sense. So we're doing the mechanical equivalent. We trained Leo, the LMM, on millions, hundreds of millions of machine parts as tokens. And it knows how to combine them into an assembly that makes sense in terms of the organizational guidelines, the Bibles, the restrictions, etc. So when we take this AI model that was trained on the Bibles and we plug it into the organizational databases, of course, in an enterprise-grade security, SOC 2 certified, GDPR, etc. So we map all their CAD assemblies and parts and text files. And we do processes called indexing, right? Leo understands what's the semantics of those files. And then when the user asks a question, Leo did the analysis already, so it can source it very quickly and not go through all this mapping again and again. So imagine during the night, after you integrate Leo for the first time, it's going through your data, understand them, and then it's just in a heartbeat, it's able to provide you with answers.
So is it sort of like a super engineer looking over your shoulder and saying, hey, you ought to be doing this?
Exactly. But the super engineer was going through all the, 1 million Bibles of engineering and read all your documents. So yeah, this is it.
Very cool. How about an OpenBOM? What does it look like for the user of OpenBOM?
Yes, there are multiple places. So one of them is very simple. It's chat, because in chat we using large language models, and then we bring data in context through OpenBOM MCP server. So this is the simplest element, because OpenBOM provides tools that then can be combined in a chat using large language models. But there are more sophisticated and more advanced use cases that are coming from RAG. I'm sure you know, retrieval augmented generation. So then it was another way to provide more precise answers, more precise results from large language model, which was a graph RAG, which used some graph algorithms for this. Now we're taking it forward and making it more specific. And I'm not sure the name will go public, like a bomb RAG or whatever else. But yeah, we certainly use it inside, because this is another way to improve the precisions of data, because like graph RAG use graph algorithms to bring the right data in the context of large language models. If you think about BOM, it has a very specific data structures, like the data that knows that there is an engineering, manufacturing, maintenance, and sales BOM. So if you start providing this specific information, when someone is asking you a question about parts that are used by current customers, we can navigate to the right places of data that expressed in the maintenance BOM. So without that, this data is not marked. So this is how we can bring more specific data and lead it to more specific and correct answers, precise answers. So that's how it can be used, and it's also how I see the future integrations of technologies like Leo and OpenBOM, because it's about how to make data available and make data available to make right decisions. So like Maor was speaking about millions of parts available, and the engineering knowledge. Now we bring specific data that is managed by OpenBOM, and that's improved the precision of the same recommendations that the engineer wants to get.
There's actually a question on the chat whether Leo actually, you guys created your own foundational model, your own. Mm-hmm. So the LMM is actually your own foundational model.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. And you know, a foundational model is this. It's basically an enabler, right? It's an agent that will basically can tackle dozens of use cases, and we're super happy not only to serve our customers, right, but also to serve Oleg's and OpenBOM's customers. I mean, as our esteemed partners, and also like other places like Onshape, our esteemed partners. And when the LMM is in the hands, and Leo is in the hands of very strong teams like OpenBOMs and Onshapes, that they know and obsessed about their customers' needs and their data structure, and basically they can apply it to solve many use cases like OpenBOM is working on right now. And just, you know, it's not another AI that can answer nice questions or do like fairy dust magic, but to tackle real problems that, and Oleg, he knows, he's obsessed about those problems for a long time. So I think, you know, OpenBOM's customers are super lucky. Yeah.
Maybe well, I didn't really pose the question this way, but there's also sort of different levels of AI, right? You've got I'm going to wrap a chatbot, you know, the ChatGPT wrapper, which is just that sitting on top of documentation thing. But then you've also got agentic AI, right? Because thanks to Anthropic and the MCP, now you've got AIs talking to each other. So potentially you can have multiple. I suppose even Leo could have an agent that really understands chamfers, another one that understands milling, another one understands assemblies, right? And then you can have these specialized piece of knowledge. Because I suppose one of the fears or one of the problems you run into is the lack of determinism, right? There's too much probabilistic stuff, and then you end up with a hallucination. But if you I'm thinking if you focus your agent really down on one specific problem, he has less things he can hallucinate about because he only knows about that one domain. He can't just go off and give you photographs of Sabrina a carpenter or something instead of what you're actually asking for. So is that how you're doing it with Leo also?
Yeah, so similar. So let me say a few words about hallucinations and why they're absolutely horrible and for mechanical engineers. And I will start with a story.
Nice.
You know, when we started on May 2023, before writing a single line of code, Moti, my dear partner, and I, we started from serving and interviewing more than 900 mechanical engineers. And we itemized the most time-consuming tasks that they are facing today. But also, we, you know, at the end of the conversation, you know, after the second glass of beer, we asked them, you know, what's the problem with ChatGPT really? Like, why you hate it so much? Because they were radiating hate towards ChatGPT. And they told me, look, Maor, I prefer Google 10 times more than ChatGPT. Why? Because Google never lies, right? It retrieves Shigley or Machinery Handbook in the 5th page, but if he doesn't know an answer, he doesn't show an answer. ChatGPT tells you
zero search results.
Yeah. And ChatGPT, if you're asking what's the best bolt I should use, he's gonna tell you, please use M8 bolt.
And what a brilliant question! And what a brilliant question!
Of course,
you're the smartest guy in the universe. Yeah,
smartest, prettiest. I mean, what pretty eyes you have, right? Such a So he tells you with a high confidence, you should use M8 bolt. And then you're asking, are you sure? And then he tells you, you're right, it's M12. I cannot build an airplane based on this.
Yeah, and then you ask again, and it says M9, and then you ask again, it says M8, and then it goes back around again. Yeah.
Again. Sorry, exactly. So what basically the first problem that we needed to solve really is not understanding CAD, is the trust issue.
Exactly, yeah.
So we needed to provide an AI that an engineer could feel 100% sure that he can trust or she can trust the answer. So what Leo basically does is, differently than ChatGPT, first of all, it was trained on not on Reddit. By the way, ChatGPT is hallucinating because for us mechanical engineers, 46% of the time, not official data, this is our survey, 46% of the time when you're asking a mechanical related question, it's going to be an error. Why? And this is the real data. 40% of the underlying data sources under the hood of ChatGPT is Reddit. And Reddit is exactly the opposite of how us humans, how we build engineering, right? It was an art going from a father to son, now from mil standard and ISO to an engineer. Reddit is the opposite. It's anonymous people writing random,
with no fact checking
online.
With no fact checking.
Exactly. So first of all, we trained Leo to answer questions only based on the Bibles or your sources. If it doesn't know the answer, it tells you, I don't know. If it knows the answer, it gives you a source that when you click on it, it opens up the right paragraph in the right page, in the right book, saving you the scrolling time. So immediately you know why the decision was made like this. Of course, it understands CAD, unlike ChatGPT that understands well only language as a language model, and integrates into the PLM that ChatGPT cannot do, especially now. So this is the differentiation. Regarding the new wave of agentic AI, in other terms for the layman, is basically an AI that does automation for you. So imagine that you could tell, hey, Leo, design, I don't know, do the fillets on the entire assembly or whatnot. So we are working on this. It's going to be ready soon. But always keeping in mind that engineers would love to have a very small automations made for them. And we were very surprised how small it is. Right? Do the fillet, add this kind of bolts, but not
the whole thing.
Big product level, right?
Very, very good. That's sort of the way I was thinking about it too. How about with OpenBOM? Is that you have the same impression, or you? I would think that PLM lends itself to having multiple agents because we have so many disciplines inside of PLM between change management and configuration management and CAD management. So what do you think, Oleg?
Well, there are two aspects that I want to bring here. It's one, I really like the trust element of the data that you can trust, because this is where the first value of what we develop comes into. We know exactly the data about the product, what components are used in different products and different assemblies and different sub-assemblies, how they connected to other elements. So when someone wants to know what is the best screw to use for a particular design, it automatically can bring a data that related to all designs that you've been using before. Like this is, when an engineer cannot find something, they create a new one. So then you get many parts in the company. So in OpenBOM use case, that because we have the product knowledge graph that related to specific company, that's very easy for us to help to navigate to the right data, to trusted data that, for example, already used in the product. And that's the foundational piece. And then we take the next level. And the next level is OpenBOM platform. Now, OpenBOM platform is global, and many companies are using this. So this is our vision. It's not something that is actually happening now, but we can use different statistics about different companies using different data. And if those companies will allow to us to use these statistics to bring this data to someone else. So if you think about OpenBOM global platform, like Amazon, with many people buying something, you can bring the same knowledge in the context of many companies developing many products using many components. So we can say that, for example, you selecting part that, by the way, failed in 70% of use cases in other products by someone else based on the information that we have. So it's a foundation to create layers of data. So, and that's very valuable because, like Maor said, it's like you don't want to build your product based on the Reddit knowledge, right? You want to build your product based on the precise knowledge of companies that build particular products, and this is where OpenBOM bring this knowledge. And by integrating those things together, you can start getting information. So that's about trust and data. And the second, you ask a question about agentics. I think there is a potential here to get particular tasks exposed that can be used for different for different scenarios. Like if OpenBOM provides MCP server, this MCP server and tools can be used in different scenarios. Like if someone is developing change management process or validation or supplier qualification. So those scenarios can be programmable and used by invoking particular tools. So that's how I see the immediate use will be. And again, invoking those tools can be used for different purposes. For example, you can invoke tools and make cost estimation. So you can make cost estimation based on different data. You can make cost estimation based on the global data. We can make cost estimation based on the particular catalog that Leo AI has an access to. So
to make master and stuff.
when the pieces starting to connect together, this is where this agentic to me becomes a real thing, and we can use it. So it's not necessarily about running particular process, but it's more about getting intelligence. So I don't think MCP will replace APIs for communication, because when I need to send something to ERP system, I still can use ERP API much more efficiently. I don't need MCP server of ERP system. That's unlikely will be a good idea, because OpenBOM can use, for example, REST API for ERP system. But when we want to create some intelligence on top, this is where we can start getting information from different MCP servers and bringing them together. So that's the agent that, for example, will make an assessment of the BOM validation. So it's making multiple agents to validate these BOMs, and it's becoming like a first level validation, second level validation, third level validation that includes particular tools that can be used.
Yeah, I think so. That being said, I think that the next generation of digital thread will be agentic, in the sense that we shouldn't need to have to write these integrations anymore, because the MCP should be able to figure out the input and the output and the right protocol to use, right? I mean, that's sort of the philosophy of just leaving the back end, the plumbing, to the AI, as long as there's some human oversight, right? But that's super interesting. So, like, before we go to the customer side in like 5 minutes, over this journey that you've had, and you've both put out product that's very that has AI more at the center. I'm not going to say AI native, because I'll get killed by Oleg, so I'll just say AI more at the center of the whole concept. And I think Leo AI even has a letters AI associated with it. But what have you learned about AI over, well, let's just even say over the last 2 years, when we've seen everything change every day, almost every day, right? Including vendors saying, "Oh, actually, we lied, and we're actually training on your prompts after we told you we weren't."
Yeah,
You know, a lot of changes. So, what have you learned, and what are the some of the takeaways for the audience about, you know, what's real and what's hype? Because one of the other, of course, a couple of people in the thing were saying, where are we on the hype cycle with this whole thing? So,
oh wow! So we've Oleg. If you'd like to start from Oleg, it's gonna be even more interesting. Okay. So we learned a lot, more than we learn about like AI, because we are fully immersed in this technology as AI researchers, not only mechanical engineers. We've learned about mechanical engineers holding AI, which was amazing. It was eye-opening. At the beginning, we thought, just if I'm going to summarize this, 2 years in a few minutes. First of all, we thought they want vibe engineer. We thought they want vibe engineering. And the market just slapped us with brute force. Our heads were just throwing, moving from Brooklyn to Newton. So, and we realized that they want to get rid of the boring part, but not the too boring part as well. So we overshooted into from people that are talking about vibe engineering to people that are talking about automations, CAD automations,
right?
The fillets,
like chamfers, things like that.
Right. They want us to reduce clicks for them, but also we realized after a few questions that it just, even though it's annoying thing to do, all those clicks, they're not really business critical. No one really cares about them in the strategic level, right?
Mhm.
So the problems to focus, the maximum ROI are the knowledge problems. Those problems that mechanical engineers want mentioned in conversations. But when you're digging deeper, what they really care about, what really keeps them past the due dates, the deadlines, to pay much more for the product life cycle. This is the knowledge problem. The fact that engineering knowledge in 2025 is still siloed. The PLM is still a locked vault. The minds of engineers is a locked vault. The Bibles are locked behind search and paywalls, and the CAD is not something searchable, really. So this is what we realize. The boring parts, right? those will matter the most.
Fascinating. I love that. What about you, Oleg?
Yeah, let me bring three stories here. So first is about hype. So let's just explain what is the level of the hype. So when you speak to customers, and we do it a lot, so no one is really asking something specific, just by saying, do you have AI to solve, and then the name of the problem. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like basically everyone believes that it will be an AI that will solve their problem. And this is how they articulate. Like, I'm making mistakes. Do you have an AI that will help me to not to make mistakes? Great, excellent. So that's a level of hype. I think it's, as we move forward, it will be over, because people are digging deeper in and trying to understand it a little bit more, and the knowledge it's coming. And then, when we really come to the value, I like to classify everything, like everything that company buys is because of three reasons. It's like either they want to earn more money, or they want to save cost, or they want to mitigate risks. Like everything that you want to sell, those are three things. Like, you try it. Like I tried, like I came to conclusion, those are only three use cases. So now when we come to AI and OpenBOM, this is very simple. Like, get more, like earn more. The people want to create more orders. So we have customers that create orders using OpenBOM. So if AI will help them to create better orders faster, today they're getting data from CAD system, generate purchase order in OpenBOM. If they can make it faster, amazing, right? So they will be making more orders. So if someone will be sending mistakes and bombs, and we can find those mistakes early, so we can mitigate risks, and not to use components that will be eliminated next year or next 6 months. And the AI will give a better way to solve this problem. Or, for example, we want to what was the third? Save cost. So if we can find a way how to optimize the design, how to optimize bill of materials, we'll get those. So it's all about particular decisions that we are taking, and we see them a lot. Like, for example, today on the OpenBOM blog, there is an article with a sample of 5 companies. Like everything, like you can go and see the article. Different companies, different things that they develop. There is a one common thing between them. The data was chaotic in different spreadsheets in different places.
Right.
OpenBOM helped to organize this information. Now they can make decisions. Now put AI on this, we can make even better decisions. That's the story, which brings me to the third, the most fundamental thing. The data is a central part of everything that we
Right.
do. So we will get right data. We will, like Maor said, we will be less hallucinating. We'll be trusting what we do, and we will optimize companies' decisions to get more money, to mitigate risks, and save cost.
So, kind of doubling down on what you just said, both of you obviously have sold into companies of various sizes, and I usually think of digital maturity on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being still Excel and email, Phi being agentic adaptive digital twins, which is basically the la land of engineering, right? So I'm imagining that most of the customers you run into are between 1 and 3, probably between 1 and 2 or between 2 and 3, but maybe closer to 2. And then you bring this awesome AI-powered solution, and as Oleg said, garbage in, garbage out. If the data's not great, then the results aren't going to be great. So when you bring this tool and people realize, oh my God, if I knew what I was doing and my data was better, I get more out of the tool. Is there an aha moment? Is it just a slow ripple where they're like, okay, well, we'll get to that a couple of years from now, but we're too busy with, hitting our deadlines and getting the immediate problem out of the way? Does the fact that the customer implements one of your solutions, does it create a bit of a bigger wave of changing the organization and fixing these data problems that are plaguing everybody, right? Because of the siloed organizations and the siloed disciplines. Is this a helping thing, or is it still an impediment?
So maybe I'll answer with a story, right? After I met one of my mentors and a brilliant person, Bertrand Sicot, the former CEO of SolidWorks, that now is not only our esteemed advisor, but also an investor in Leo. He said after he saw Leo, he felt the same feeling that he felt 30 years ago when he saw SolidWorks for the first time. And I think it resonates with a lot of stories that I've heard from those days, from the founders of this company. And so there we're talking about 1995 when they started to bring SolidWorks into market, and some of their customers told them, I don't need this. I don't need to use even CAD. I use a pencil and an A0.
Plus Windows. Are you kidding? Windows is never going to be able to do that, right? It was Unix. But...
Of course. Yeah, not Windows, not Unix. I love my pencil and my paper. And then engineering was divided to two, the old guard and the avant-garde, right? You know what really happened, right? The old guard doesn't exist anymore. And they basically, because the new guard had 10x them. And it's very similar to what happens with Leo today, right? It's a domain-specific AI, and our customers are seeing 30% reduction of design mistakes, 35% of increase in the part reuse. And so it just tells you how business critical it is. But we, in our case, because of the maybe FOMO about AI, our dynamics is different. Engineering leaders reach out to us. They're already convinced and know what they can earn from AI and what Leo can provide them. And basically we're just checking the boxes of security and trust and everything. When they see the SOC 2 certificate and everything, it's basically integrating into their systems and providing them with our services pretty given. So this is the dynamics that we see right now. And so to your question, it's not about their AI maturity. Those are people that are looking for competitive advantage. Those are engineering leaders, what we call the engineering managers, directors, VP, etc., that are looking for the next big thing to 10x them and provide them with a competitive advantage. Because Leo AI is not the best, it's the only AI available for mechanical engineering in what we do. So we do not face.
In your case, you're sort of preaching to the choir, like people are already convinced. Okay,
they preaching us at the beginning what they need, and then we preach back. And
So Oleg, I think in the PLM world, it's not exactly like that, right? It's a little bit different.
Actually, you will be surprised. Let me give you a story. Like I think today it's a way of stories.
Another story, yeah.
It's another story.
A little fireside chat. Okay.
So what I like, Maor basically took the word that I've been thinking about and to say organizations are coming after 10x. So if you have something that is a little bit better, it's like try to decide. I mean, not to discourage people from deciding for the SOAP PTC or Siemens, but those tools are approximately the same. They might be a little bit better in one, and they might be a little bit better in something else. You might like one company and dislike another one. It also happens. We're all humans. And this is where everyone is speaking now about people, because it looks like people is the competitive advantage. If you make someone to like the saw more than Siemens, you win the deal, right? So that's, again, just perspective, okay? Now, coming to 10x is important because SolidWorks was 10x. Because SolidWorks, when it shows up, it was 10 times cheaper, and was able to do something that no one else was able to do.
Well, it was the same revolution that Parametric had done 10 years before with Pro-E, right? It was the same
but
explosion
the cost,
with the cost lower.
But the cost, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
here where I am coming from. So OpenBOM is the only one that you can go online and create your account for 30 seconds. Try to do it with someone else.
Okay.
Try it, okay? And then try to import data to this account and start using it. Yeah, it's 14-day trial, but you can we collected about 60,000 companies that registered for OpenBOM to do something which is the indication that there is a huge underserved space in this. So when the Siemens and PTC are fighting for 1,000 or 10,000 customers they have in the world, because everyone already have at least 2-3 PLMs. So they're trying to outsell or resell or upsell. Agile is discontinued now. Let's sell to Agile customers. I mean, this is the very nice group of customers. I love them. Great companies, amazing companies. There is the only problem that there is a 90% of others in manufacturing that can come even close to this PLM system. So it's a lead club. It's great, absolutely important. It's a complex use cases, absolutely amazing technologies. But then we find all these companies that have similar problems, much smaller. They come into us, they're interested because they are looking for 10x. So they are looking for technology that can be used. And I would encourage you to send me a name of the PLM company that you can go on their website and create an account. You can create OpenBOM account in 30 seconds after this meeting.
Okay. So we're almost at the end. I think a really cool question to end would be, since you guys are both, some people with very large domain knowledge, and there's a lot of people that might listen to this that are worried about AI and worried that, they might be out of a job because of AI. What kind of advice would you give it, being someone that's a practitioner, especially in your case, Maor, because you've been doing this your whole career? What kinds of things should they focus on in order to stay relevant in this new age of AI as an engineer?
Got it. So those are two questions, right? If they should scare about AI. So I can talk only on our behalf. As you know, the first AI enterprise-ready AI that is available. So even in our long-term roadmap, we do not have any feature that is going to replace a mechanical engineer. It's not even. It's exactly the opposite of our engineering religion.
Okay.
Our main only goal is to make engineering more productive, and to make the engineering design more, not only with significant less risk and much faster time to market and much higher part reuse, but also joyful for the mechanical engineer.
Right.
So this is the first thing. And my advice was just to try it out, like just to do your research. Forget about Leo AI. Try to search for another AI tool. If you find, just let me know. I don't know. I live in this market for a long time. I don't know anyone in production. Find yours, hate it, love it, whatever. But just keep your fingers on the pulse and don't become obsolete, because everyone knows that AI is gonna revolutionize our domain. Don't stay behind.
Thank you. And Oleg?
Yes, and in our vision, we have two things. First of all, we want to help people not to do tasks that they don't need to do. Like, no one should combine Excels manually. It's just a stupid task. So, but believe me, there is in every company, there is a chief Excel officer who does it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the second is that we want to make people smarter. So we want to bring intelligence to people. And with disclose of the number of years that I'm in the industry, I can say I remember the time when Google became widely popular. And back in that time, people said, if I can get access to Google in the meeting, I can be much smarter in the meeting, okay? Because I will get some answers that no one will have immediately. So, and then I think it's about what AI is becoming as a tool for people to be smarter. And in order for people to be smarter is to give them right data that will help them to become smarter in this place. Because if I will ask what is the right screw, I mean, great, but I don't need this best screw. Like I need to know for my particular project. So if I give the information about my data in my project, ask for the right screw that we sell in particular country, then I can get the right answer. So it's about how to be more intelligent.
Well, that's awesome, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me today. I think I learned a lot. Hope you guys had a good time too.
Absolutely.
Amazing, Michael.
I feel like
Thank
we
you for
have even
inviting.
more to talk about. Maybe we can all get together again and talk some more. That was really exciting. Thank you very much. Thank you for the audience, and have a great afternoon for you guys. For me, it's the evening already, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mark.